listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2015. Definitely look forward to an exciting LaunchPad webinar series. Lots to cover today, lots of information. D-Day or Mobile Kitten Day is today, so there's a lot of happening in the industry. Before we get started, I just want to do a bit of a sound check quickly, and if you can just kindly let me know via the chat box if you can hear us clearly. That would be great. Just to start off, thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Karen. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So I will have our usual set of latest news and articles. We're going to have a case study on adaptive SEO that was covered at the Digital Summit this past week, which was a great event. Give you some updates. I think that over the next few weeks, we'll probably be doing a lot of providing you with some updates on what has been happening. So definitely look forward to that. To giving you some tidbits of information. We had some great speakers, and today we'll start with the case study, and over the next few weeks we will kind of provide you with a little more information on what happened at this great event that was hosted by WSI at the Google offices in Toronto. So that's that, and obviously questions and answers. So to begin today, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I guess Amalie will take us off. Amalie, good morning.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I just want to say hello and welcome to the webinar. I did come off a very interesting article, which I thought you would all find of interest. Recently, Yahoo and Bing reached a new search deal, which Yahoo gains the right to serve search ads on the PC. So last week, Yahoo and Microsoft officially announced an amended search relationship. While it does keep the basic framework at the original deal in place, it gives both companies, most notably Yahoo, more autonomy. Under the old deal, Yahoo had to carry Microsoft's Bing ads on the desktop. On mobile, Yahoo had flexibility to sell as it likes. Over the past year, however, Yahoo has made great use of this, launching its Yahoo Gemini platform that allows a single place for advertisers to buy mobile search and native ads. Now Yahoo, sorry, did I lose everybody?
No, we're still here.
Sorry, I thought there was a connection issue. My bad. Anyways, over the past year, Yahoo has made great use of this, launching its Yahoo Gemini platform, and allows a single place for advertisers to buy mobile search and native ads. So now Yahoo has more flexibility on the desktop under the new deal, and under the new deal, 51% of the desktop search traffic has to carry big ads. The rest can carry ads, however Yahoo likes, either from its own Gemini system or other partners. The biggest likely external partner would be Google, which has expressed interest in the past. Google originally wanted to be Yahoo's partner before the deal with Microsoft was put into place, but the idea came to a halt in 2008. Yahoo told Search Engine Land that it's likely looking to extend Gemini to handle desktop search as well. As for partnering with Google, it's possible, but not something it wants to really speculate on. So it is a win-win situation between the Yahoo-Microsoft deal. Yahoo has expressed optimism that the new deal would allow both companies to move ahead in a more positive direction, but still very competitive manner. The announcement was obviously silent in regards to its position and obviously priority, and it's a safe bet that Gemini will expand to cover the PC as well. So this is really interesting. I mean, who knows if Yahoo will favor its own ads over the PC versus any other ads, but I guess time will tell. Armando, any feedback on that?
Yeah, no, this is I think we had talked a little bit about this a few weeks back in regards to Yahoo and Bing putting their renewal or their new search deal on hold. I think it was 30 days. And I think that what they wanted to do was develop a strategy that will work well for both of them, specifically given the fact that under the older deal, as you mentioned, it looked like Yahoo kind of lost a little bit of autonomy because he had to carry Microsoft's Bing ads on the desktop. But since then, Yahoo's been very busy, very proactive in kind of finalizing and launching its Yahoo Gemini platform, which we also talked about, which gives them a little bit more flexibility in the sense that now they can actually, sell their own ads and do it from one system, right? So I think that this is good news. We'll see what happens in the next probably 3 to 6 months, and begin to see the development of this partnership or this renewed search deal, because the main reason being that right now today, Microsoft or MSN, the network, continues to benefit from this primarily. And I'm just going to bring something up. Hopefully I paused everything, but I did want to bring something up that actually is relevant to this, and it's really the monthly. This is the monthly data from ComScore in regards to search share report from ComScore for the month of March. And if you look at this, this is the first time that Microsoft reaches 20% or 20.1% of all the search shares in the U.S. Right? So this is something that we've seen in the past, probably in the past 12 to 14 months, where Microsoft has been climbing up the share, climbing up the share ladder and getting more and more results, while Yahoo at the same time keeps dropping. Right? So in this relationship that they've developed, it looks like Yahoo, it gives them flexibility, and hopefully Yahoo will recover some of its share loss that it's had in the previous probably two years, right? However, we'll also have to see how Bing or the Microsoft sites, network of sites, how they do, right? But yeah, it's something that we'll be reviewing with the IC community as things develop. But for now, it looks like Yahoo has more autonomy. They can focus on their Gemini platform. They're not really tied to MSN's platform. And my understanding is now they can both actually sell their own ads. And before, I think you had, Yahoo depended on Bing a lot in regards to revenue sharing from advertising. So great news also as well. That this happened last week, but we wanted to share it with you just to keep an eye on what's happening in the industry as well. Okay, so thank you, Amalia, for that, and because it is important. You never know what's gonna turn out in the next few months, and opportunities for advertisers like us to continue focusing on better servicing our clients, and perhaps even looking at Yahoo and MSN as ways of advertising. Alternatives, right? Great, thank you, Amalia, for that. The second piece that we wanted to cover today, it's obviously today's April 21st, M Day or Mobile Get-In Day, and I think that a lot of this has gathered a lot of hoopla momentum over the past probably 2-3 months since the announcement became official on February 26th, where Google was going to roll out the mobile-friendly update. Based on what's happening today, it is not doomsday, right? It's not a day where the end of the world per se in the internet space, but it is something that we have to be very aware of, and our clients, if we have to really focus on educating our clients on what this can bring, what are the pros, and also some of the negatives if they're not mobile friendly. So the Google update will begin today, and based on what Google's statement is that you cannot definitely determine whether the ranking of your site is affected by this update as soon as April 21. We will begin to deploy a mobile optimization update on April 21st, but it will take about a week for it to apply to all pages of the index. So, if your client site is mobile friendly, they may see a bit of a change, boost in their mobile rankings, probably in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Reality, we probably won't see anything major until after 4 weeks, any trending. Same thing for sites that are not friendly, that are not mobile friendly. Having said that, people thought that because of this algorithm that it was going to affect desktop rankings, right? Which are very critical still, because right now at this stage you're only looking at probably about 25 to 35% of all searches are done on mobile. There are some verticals where it is up to 50%. So therefore, 50% comes from your traffic comes from your desktop, and 50% of your traffic comes from a mobile or mobile-friendly devices, right, or tablets or phones, etc. But in this case, there's still time for your clients to go the route of mobile, and that is there's no turning back. I mean, if they want to be very successful and have a comprehensive and a successful digital marketing strategy, mobile-friendly way is the way to go, right? It's not late. They may be effective for the next 2 to 3 months, and the sooner they get their mobile-friendly website up and running, the better they'll be ranking on mobiles. It's one of the key things that I do want to highlight is that many ICs and even their clients are asking, well, would it affect the desktop rankings? Not necessarily. It won't. At this stage, what Google has said, this is only for mobile rankings. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share with you an interesting article that was published also by Search Engine Land in regards to this topic, and basically it talks about the different it's really Q&As, right? Most of the frequently asked questions, and this is very good. I would actually use this if I were an IC to repurpose this specific content. Obviously you cannot write a blog about it, to demystify some of the things that are happening as a result of this algorithm update. So number one is obviously April 21st is when the algorithm is going to take over today. One more thing that's going to happen probably later in the day is that Google is going to update, provide an update on their blog. So keep an eye on that. We'll try to update you by next week, but they'll probably give us an update on what's happening regarding this mobile update. But here are some of the FAQs, very important. What is the algorithm update? Who will it impact? Well, we talked about the fact that it's going to only provide ranking boosts to mobile-friendly pages, right? So this is really affecting mobile search results only. It's not going to impact your desktop rankings. However, having said that, if your client it's in a vertical where 50% of their traffic is mobile related, then you know what, they may definitely will see a decrease in traffic, because if their website is not mobile friendly, Google's not gonna, they'll probably get, deranked. To what degree, we don't know. But if today, when you are browsing on a mobile and your client's coming up in, let's say, number 1 or number 2 on a mobile, and they're no longer, and they are not mobile friendly, next week or in 2 weeks, that number may be in the 2nd or 3rd page. We don't know yet. But it's not going to impact your client's desktop rankings. So I think this is good, because if your client's search volume is on mobile devices is only about 25-30%, it's not really going, it is something that they should consider, and obviously if they want to grow and if you want to perform for them, this is a must do, but it's not the end of the world for them. Okay. So we talked a little bit about, it says, how do I know if my site is mobile friendly? One of the key things is actually using the mobile friendly testing tool that Google has, and it's free. And definitely, if anybody has any questions or about the link, we can always send it to you. But it's really, you can just type in on your Chrome or Internet Explorer, just type in Google mobile friendly testing tool, and you'll get the results. Definitely a lot of different questions. One of the questions that's pretty interesting is the mobile friendly algorithm site-wide or on a web page by web page basis? So the mobile friendly algorithm is on a page by page basis. So even if only some of your web pages are not mobile friendly, some can benefit from this algorithm. So ideally, all of your websites should be mobile friendly. But let's say you have a mobile friendly website like a Duda Mobile, and that Duda Mobile only has 7 pages. It's just on the mobile search results, it's just going to index 7 pages. Even though your desktop version may have 30, on the desktop version you have 30 30 pages, but on your mobile you have 7, right? Is this a real-time or delay algorithm? We talked a little bit about this last week in regards to Panda and Penguin not being a real-time algorithm, that it definitely takes time for this, and in some cases, anything, the update can take up to 3 months or beyond that. In this case, Google has confirmed that it is a it is a mobile-friendly algorithm that runs on real-time. However, the mobile-friendly label may show up in the search results delayed, right? So even though Google is indexing your mobile-friendly website right away and it's acknowledging it's mobile-friendly, if it hasn't really given you that, your clients, that mobile-friendly label, it's just going to take a few weeks. So for example, let's say you're launching a new site for your client that's mobile-friendly this week or next week. It's going, even though the Google will understand that it's mobile-friendly, it's not going to display it as mobile-friendly until a few, probably, it's going to be delayed. So I would imagine it's probably going to take up 2 weeks, probably 2 or 3 weeks. It's not something that's real-time. That component of it, right? Giving the website a mobile-friendly label, but indexing it as a mobile-friendly website happens in real time. Okay, so definitely something that you should keep in mind when a great article. As a matter of fact, let me just post it for everyone. I think this is a great. Lots of information for you to read, for you to be aware of, for you to share with your clients. You can repurpose this content in a very positive way in a blog or your social media properties. Another key thing is that we talked about last week is, will Google News local results in the news videos be impacted by this algorithm? Nope. At this stage, it's only going to impact the organic results on mobile. So those 10 blue links that we talked about last week, it's not going to impact anything that has to do with the local pack, which is your Google My Business, Google News. Those will remain as is, even though they're not, even though your site may not be mobile friendly. Okay, so a lot of different things here that you can go to if you have a lot of questions in regards to this update. And one of the things that may come about is this one: what are the most common mobile SEO mistakes? So Google published a document. Let me just go to that page in a second as I toggle to it. Basically, you have 7 key things that you should be wary about. Your production team, your in-house programmer should be doing when what makes a website mobile friendly. What are the key things that he or she or your team should be taking into consideration when they're doing converting sites to mobile friendly concepts. Okay. Now there was a great, just to add to this, there was a great presentation by Krista last week from G-Shift in regards to mobile friendliness and what mobile friendliness is all about. And as this concept continues to roll out, you will start seeing that mobile friendliness is not just about having a responsive web design site. It's going to go beyond that. It's going to go to the level of conversion optimization for mobile, right? The content that you share. How do you share that content with your users, depending on the platform or on the device that they're using? So definitely, I would recommend that you kind of spend some time in the next few weeks learning more about what is the concept of mobile friendliness, right? Responsive web design is one of them. Having a mobile site is another one. But as we will touch base in the next few weeks, we'll talk a little bit more about what the concept and the term mobile friendly means. So Krista's going back to Krista's presentation at the Digital Summit, she talked about the importance of creating a website that your users, if they're using a mobile device, is easier for them to navigate, and there's an easy and smooth path to conversion, whether it be purchase to conversion or just a path to conversion. It's very important. So I believe she will, if you are tuned to the to her recent webinars, I would recommend that you check out her webinar on the algorithm and its impact on adaptive SEO. She'll talk a little bit about it, but it was a great presentation as well. Another key thing here is very important. Will Google delist my site from search if I do not go mobile friendly? Very important. Absolutely not. Right? Again, this means that this only affects mobile search results. It doesn't affect desktop, but very important. Do you need a special mobile sitemap file? No. In fact, most mobile sites do not need a separate mobile sitemap at all. So definitely this is important. Will this impact my AdWords ads? No, this is only for organic listings. AdWords may have their own mobile factors, but this is unrelated. So great article for you to read, for you to kind of educate yourself and educate your clients and repurpose. So again, everybody thought this was like the end of the world pretty much in our space, thinking about the algorithm, but again, Google is sending a warning that if you are not going the mobile-friendly way, it's going to impact your business, specifically as more and more users are turning to mobile. So we'll look at that. Excellent. I know I'm getting some questions. I'll try to answer the questions as I go about, but I hope that this helps you a lot. There's a lot of links here and a lot of information in regards to what a mobile-friendly site is all about and what the subject is all about, and I'm pretty sure Google will also share a lot of information as well. So moving on, just kind of going back to our presentation here. Another thing that another great article that came about because of this was on Search Engine Land as well. It's called 3 Ways to Take Mobile Friendliness to the Next Level. So these are things that you can actually do for your client and even for your own IC websites. And number one is, how do we know that how do we know the impact of a website? Is it a positive impact? Is it a negative impact? How do I take leverage from this algorithm and help my client or help my site go to the next level? So one of the key things that you want to do is actually track mobile keywords to see how your website stacks up. So in order to do this, and I'm just going to again press pause, we have to look at Google Webmaster Tools and try to spend some time with your clients' website and their Google Webmaster Tools to identify what's happening in Google Webmasters. What are the keywords that are appearing or are being what are the queries on Webmaster Tools? So I'm going to share with you how you can actually do this very simple. So you log into your client's Webmaster Tools. For example, I've actually logged in here to one of our clients, and do keep in mind that this site specifically, it's not mobile friendly. The client is in the process of launching a new website, but obviously, as you can see in the message board, fix mobile usability issues, etc. And that's something that the latest notification that we've had. This was an old one that's been fixed already, but this is one of the things. So how do I track my search queries that are happening on mobile? Remember that queries on the desktop are very different than queries on mobile device. So in this case, for example, you'll notice that many of the keywords that are being found or queried and are being captured by Webmaster Tools are actually branded keywords, right? And these are the queries for desktop, right? And it tells you the position, right? The clicks, etc. And this is for web. And you'll notice that when you go to now, I want to find out what are people looking for when they're looking for using a mobile device to look for my site. Okay, perfect. So again, log into your Webmaster Tools, under Search Traffic, go to Search Queries, and in here you go to Filters. And when you go to Filters, you type in, you go to Mobile, okay, and then you go here to Apply, and you'll notice that here are my my searches for mobile devices, right? So you can see that the searches are much lower. Again, some branded keywords, some geo-targeted keywords that we have for the client. and you'll notice that what are your top keywords. So what you want to do is you want to keep an eye on these keywords. I would actually recommend doing this activity this week if you haven't done it yet, to try to understand where your clients are positioned today on the mobile rankings. Let's say, right? What are their mobile rankings versus desktop rankings? And you want to keep an eye on what are those good keywords that they're performing, and basically be able to leverage from that and continue to nurture those keywords, so therefore they don't lose traction, right? So if you ever wonder, how are my clients being found on mobile, you can actually do this through Webmaster Tools. Okay, just wanted to share that with you. Unfortunately, this website's probably not the greatest example just because they're not mobile friendly, but this is also a great opportunity for any of your clients that are not mobile website friendly, where you're showing them and telling them, look, when I took this snapshot on April 21st, this is where these keywords were, and look, now we're a week after and they've dropped the position, because the average position is actually shown here on the right hand side. Okay, so this is the average position on Google. Sorry, on the Google results, mobile results. Okay, so excellent. So that's number one, and just going back to the presentation. Number two is actually understand mobile context, local searches, content, and more. So you have to, part of the change that has happened is that a person that is now searching for information or ready to make a purchase using the desktop is very different than somebody who's using a mobile, right? So you have to have a better understanding of context, the specific circumstances in which your customers seek you out, such as time, location, even proximity. Allows your marketing message to be more targeted, meaningful, and successful. As a matter of fact, I truly believe that as we continue to go the mobile way, and this rolls out, you'll probably have to have eventually a separate mobile SEO strategy, right? It has to be combined with your desktop strategy, but what you're doing here is focusing also on how do you serve information to your users. Because, for example, if a person at 7 p.m., for example, today at 7 p.m. is looking for pizza, right? That person may be already, maybe driving around looking for a place to buy a pizza, right? Whereas let's say that person was to search right now at 12 or at 9 a.m. or at 1 p.m., it could be a different experience that they're looking for, right? So that's what they call the better understanding of the context. You want to understand what are those circumstances in which your customers seek you out. And this is, again, one of the things that Google's wanting to focus on. And at the Digital Summit, Alec, the Google speaker, talked a little bit about the use of video, the use of mobile, how everything is intertwined and interrelated, and how as marketers we have to be very cognizant of that. We can't just be thinking about one type of context. We have to think of multiple contexts in our overall digital strategy, right? So that's something that in the next few weeks as well we would like to cover a little bit more on in regards to when you are looking at your client's digital strategy, thinking a little bit outside the box and thinking about the importance of local searches, right? Thinking about the importance of also the time, what they're seeking out, and also proximity, right? So you can have meaningful, targeted, and successful content. The other thing is optimizing the mobile experience for conversions. This is going to be very critical. Talked about it a few minutes ago. We know that it's no longer the case that people are merely searching on smartphones. So it's not just about the search. It's about the fact that, in 2013, 17% were purchasing from a mobile device, right? And in this scenario, there was a report that was published last quarter in Q4 2014, where there was a jump in the last quarter of about 26%. So that 17% became a 26% of people purchasing from a mobile device. So that increased, right? And that was on the B2C level. Now, looking at a B2B level, more than half of the executives surveyed by Google in 2013 said they will feel comfortable making business purchases via mobile as well. So what does that tell us? The whole mobile experience has to be very friendly for conversion. It's not just a matter of serving the information to them, but it's also creating specific landing pages on your website that are mobile friendly, right? So making sure that when you're going through that process, if you're using, for example, responsive web design, that the responsive web design component takes into consideration conversions. Conversion where? You're talking about conversions, whether it be in e-commerce or lead generation, right? So definitely that, that means that you have to be streamlining that checkout process for mobile users, or making your landing pages suited to the mobile visitor. So this is something that you have to keep in mind. A, if your client has a responsive website or a mobile site, or B, if they have an online shopping in e-commerce, right? So very important that these elements are considered in the age of mobile friendliness. Okay, so great article. You know what? If you give me a second, let me see if I can if I can. I'll post it. I'll post the link so you can see it, because the author definitely goes into a lot of information, a lot of great gold nuggets in order to prepare for taking really leveraging from these mobile friendly changes. Okay. This one is for Amalia. Amalia. Oh, I think I lost Amalia.
Oh, no, I'm here. Sorry, I had a bit of connection issues. My apologies, everyone. So yes, there's another interesting article I'm wanting to discuss here. It's called Google Mobile Search on Android will now recommend apps to install. So Android apps that are not installed on your device can now benefit from mobile algorithm if you use app indexing. So Google will now be encouraging the mobile searcher to install these apps. Google now Now, when you search Google on Android devices, that they may display relevant Android apps that you can install based on the search query. So previously, like apps would only be displayed in your mobile search results if you had the app already installed. But now, through app indexing, if your Android app has the contents relevant to the search query, Google may decide to display the app as a recommendation as well. So basically, Google said, now, if you implemented the app indexing, when indexed content from your app is relevant to the search done on Google on Android devices, people may start to see application install buttons for the app in search results. Tapping these buttons will basically take them to the Google Play Store where they can install your applications and then continue straight onto the right content within it. Content with the Android apps will currently receive a bit of a ranking promotion as well, so you all know, and is part of the new mobile search algorithm. And Google has officially, they actually announced this back in February, but part 2 of the algorithm update is coming on April the 21st, which will impact not only Android apps for Android searchers, but also any mobile-friendly website. Google also indicated that with the addition of these install links, we are starting to use app indexing as a ranking signal for all users on Android, regardless of whether they have the app installed or not. The install links are now part of the algorithm, so even if you do not have the Android app installed, Android apps that use app indexing can potentially benefit from this mobile algorithm. So very interesting. Any feedback there as well from you,
Yeah.
Armando, that you'd
Yeah,
like to add?
Yeah, no, I think this is also great for any of your client sites that do have already an app activated, where now Google has, they want to make that. It's all about the user experience, right? It's all about the mobile user experience, and they're really being very forward-thinking, or very proactive in regards to Android devices, right, or Android apps. Basically, if your client has a great app, and it can be very has a real purpose, definitely it can be optimized and it can be indexed. So this is something good that's happening. Perhaps it hasn't received a lot of a lot of hoopla or a lot of coverage, but it's something also that will benefit those website owners, or actually those businesses that do run and that run on different apps. So definitely we'll keep you posted on this. It's also very important because it's part of this change algorithm change that's happening today. But I guess it's like the second piece of news. But anyhow, it's still very important. If you have a client that does have an app and they're thinking about, okay, how can I get more users? How can I market my app better? Well, here's a great opportunity. Because Google will also take that into consideration. And as Amalia said, part of this Google rankings changes will also benefit those websites, or with the apps that have an app as well. It'll give them a bit of a leg up. So again, we'll continue to fill you in and bring you more information on this area. I think that for now we kind of have been focusing mostly on the other side, which is the mobile friendly side. But this is also equally as important, specifically for your clients that have launched an application. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Amalia, for that. Okay, one of the things that we talked about last time, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, we talked about doorway pages, and we had some questions from ICs in regards to doorway pages, and that's also another update that's coming up very that I believe already happened, or it's coming up already very closely in regards to the Google doorway page update. Just to kind of recap, and if you give me a quick second, I'm just going to go back to my screen to show a little bit what Google talks about what a doorway page is. And on Google's support, Webmaster Support, it talks about what are doorway pages. Doorways are sites or pages created to rank highly for specific search queries. They are bad for users because they can lead to multiple similar pages in user search results, where each result ends up taking the user to essentially the same destination. They can also lead users to intermediate pages that are not as useful as the final destination. So what are some examples of doorway pages? Having multiple domain names or pages targeted at a specific region or cities that funnel users to one page. Number one, pages generated to funnel visitors into the actual usable or relevant portion of your site. And number three, substantially similar pages that are closer to search results than a clearly defined browsable hierarchy. So, doorway pages in reality can be seen as hidden pages, right? This is something that in the past it actually worked. As long as you were following the rules, you could have a very clean doorway page in order to have it for a geo-targeted geolocation. These were, let's say, hidden pages or SEO pages that perhaps were not part of the navigational structure, but they were relevant pages because they had relevant content, right? However, for XYZ reason, they weren't placed under the navigational hierarchy. However, Google has now changed that. They want to kind of, because obviously, some SEO specialists or SEO or quote-unquote SEO users or gurus have obviously cheated the system, and again, there's things that have to happen in order for Google to clean this, right? And this is one of the updates that they're doing, which is really penalizing doorway pages. So I want to talk a little bit about that quickly in regards to what this is all about. So what are the ways that you can dodge Google's doorway pages? Number one, avoid empty pages. So take down any empty pages. Don't push new pages live until after unique content is available for them. So if you are just, let's say, thinking of creating a geo-target page and all you are putting right now is their location, and that's it, and that's a location page for one of your clients' area that they service, you have to have meaningful, unique content to make it work. So avoid just putting empty pages there, and you see that a lot sometimes where you go to a client's website or somebody's website and you go to locations and you click on locations and all you see is an address, right? There's no relevant content, right? So you have to have relevant, unique content. And I'm going to share some examples with you in a few moments about that. Number two is avoid hard-to-find pages. Pages that are not tightly integrated into your site navigation but are designed to drive traffic to your site may become increasingly problematic. Consider cleaning up your site navigation so that human visitors can find their way around your site and you don't have pages that are difficult or impossible for a human visitor. So one of the other reasons why Google has done this is, again, it's to improve on that user experience, right? That's very key. That's the message that they've been kind of giving us for many months now. And in this case, sometimes you had these hidden pages because for XYZ reason, the website didn't have a blog, for example, right? The website didn't have a resources area, so you had to create these these pages. And even at ALM, this was a practice that we did up to probably about a year ago, because we knew that there was going to be a change, and that's what we continue to encourage the ICs and their clients to get a blog, because when you have a blog, you can write and organize content, right? You can create categories for blogs. You can organize all of your content and optimize it, right? So and the other way that we used to kind of go around it was try to create like a resource page and put it under that hierarchy, but it wasn't as effective. And we do have some case scenarios where we've seen SEO results stall or stagnate because of the fact that this practice is no longer a very good SEO practice, right? This is why having a blog on your site is very key, and even if you're going to have locations pages on your website, it's very important to do it properly, and I'm going to go into it in a few moments. Number 3, prime the pump. For pages that depend upon customer or staff generated content such as reviews, testimonials, check-ins, blogs, and galleries, stress the importance of generating activity early and with regularity. So this means that if your client has a blog or review testimonials area or galleries, get them to update them, at least once a month, right? If they have a blog, they should be blogging more, right? I would always recommend at the least minimum, 1 to 2 posts per month at the minimum. Which should be 2. But if they have a review section, reviews can get stale. You go into sites where the last review was probably done a year ago. Well, then it doesn't really, serve the purpose, right? And you want to be able to have your galleries, your blogs, and your reviews testimonial sections very updated. Consider holding off on deploying such pages until you have pre-seeded or acquire enough unique, legitimate content to justify them. Again, it's all about providing relevant, unique content to your users. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is avoid duplicate content. So this is obviously something that's a no-no. It's always been a no-no. And for this latest update, the penalty may increase for pages that are repetitive and duplicative. For example, multiple pages with substantially the same content, focused in the same city, targeting different keywords. And I can tell you that we've worked with a few ICs in the past year where sites have been penalized for having duplicate content on their geo-targeted page because all they did was basically copy exactly the same content, and all they did was change the address and the telephone number in some cases. You have to have a very well thought out strategy for your clients if they are servicing multiple locations, and that includes a number of different things, such as having unique content for that specific location, putting the address on their page. I would even encourage adding the Google Plus the Google Plus badge for that specific location. Right, so there's a number of things that you want to do for locally focused pages, and in this case, they even recommend that you actually have customer reviews and testimonials targeted for that specific location. Right, so that way, again, it's very relevant, and even media. Everything has to revolve around that specific location. So make it very unique. Right. If you have any pages on your site that are set up to show the same content, such as customer or staff generated content, such as reviews, testimonials, check-ins, or blogs, reconfigure your site so that any given piece of content appears only on one page. Again, it's really kind of avoiding duplicate content. So let me just give you an example quickly about some of the best business practices, and these are 2 scenarios that I will share with you. 2 different clients. One of them is John the Plumber, which we'll be discussing today. We're in the process of finalizing some of the key things, but in this case scenario, you will notice that for this page, they have a location services page, and all of them, for example, in Orleans services, you'll notice that Perhaps the H1 is very similar, but you'll notice that the content, at least 80% of the content or 75% of the content is a little bit different. They may have the same services for this location, but you'll notice that we make it as unique as possible. And this is for example for Orleans. If we go back, if you look at another city, town that they're servicing, Kanata services, you notice again, intro very different, perhaps offering the same services, a bit of a change in content, and in this case would actually add the map for that specific location and tie it into their Google Places, right? So you want to have that. And some of the recommendations from the article was actually if you can get reviews for this location and post them here, or their Google Plus activity and post them in here, that's even better, right? So that's very important. Then the other, this is if, let's say in this case, John the Plumber, they actually do have locations, they actually have a storefront, let's say, or an office in this different location, so we can actually add the location. I'm going to show you an example in a second about, this is for Kingston that they've done, so let's go to General Plumbing. So again, you'll notice that there is a bit of a difference. Telephone number unique, address tied to their Google Plus, and so on. The only thing that this is missing is actually their own reviews, but that will be that'll be good. Now in this case, we have another client, Matsi Contractors, and this is from Pennsylvania, and basically they also have an area served location, geo-target pages. And if you look at this, we have all these geo-targeted different locations for going after different keywords, and primarily the content is very different as well, right? Now there was a landing page here before, a contact us page here or request form here. I don't know. I guess they're doing some updates to the site and has been removed. But if you go through this, you'll notice that all of the pages and the content is very, very unique, right? So you can have that, and if you have locations, for example, if they had an office in Wayne, Pennsylvania, it'll be good to add it here and even add the map, right? So you want to personalize this to avoid duplicate content, okay? So that's the examples that we can share. I know that for a long time we worked with I think another site. I'm trying to remember the site right now, sorry, as I go through it. But there was another example that I wanted to share with you. Oh yeah, the cracked out. Okay, so here's another example of another a little bit more geo-targeted, that also again location served, but in this case we had actually claimed all the Google Places for each location. So they're all different Google Places. You want to do that as well to identify to the site. But when you went to their website and you went to area served, we are looking at, for example, let's say Brampton, and Brampton, again, unique content, unique image, their telephone number, and what we were looking at doing at this page was actually adding their Google Plus badge here, so it actually keeps the location very separate, right? So these are things that you can do for your clients in order to optimize them at the local level for multiple locations, okay? And if you have any questions, you can definitely email us, and we can give you best business practices on how to avoid that. The other key thing that they talk about is avoid multiple sites if possible. Okay, and if you have more than one separate site contributing to your SEO, make sure you can justify why you need each separate domain name versus having all of the content on a single site. A key thing here is not just trying to have multiple sites, multiple properties with the same content. So you want to avoid content duplication across sites. If you're going to have two sites, for example, a lawyer that has a site that has multiple sites with different domains, you want to make sure that definitely there's a purpose behind, there's a strategy, that they're not just trying to capitalize, monopolize the search results, because Google will find that out and may get penalized. So avoid multiple sites if possible. It's better to do geo-targeted pages properly done, and that can definitely help your client be found in multiple levels. So again, this is an example of how to dodge Google's doorway pages. Okay. Excellent. I'm running a little bit out of time here, so I'm going to try to kind of go through this as much as possible. This is one of, I'll give you the the short version of one of the adaptive SEO case studies that we did at the Digital Summit last week. Here is John the Plumber, which I kind of shared with you the information. Wanted to take a little bit more in-depth approach. I know that in the past I've kind of shared their website and that we had started their adaptive SEO. So after about 4 months of doing adaptive SEO, we're seeing some changes, and I wanted to share them with you today. Number one, what were the challenges when we began this? Well, there was no previous online marketing strategy in place, very little visibility on the search engines. They had minimal exposure. The client did have an existing website, but their infrastructure was very problematic. Basically, the challenges that we had was that the URLs were done improperly. It wasn't a fast site. It wasn't responsive website. So we definitely had to work on developing that website, and it was actually hosted on a Joomla site, and we had to move it from an old Joomla technology platform to a new WordPress, an updated WordPress platform. So we did that, and the other challenge was the client wanted to target a new market in Kingston. Okay, now just to put it into perspective, our focus in Kingston has been very minimal right now because we're focusing on their primary areas, which is Ottawa and the suburbs. But Kingston is a market that we expect to see results probably by month 5, month 6. Looking into putting into perspective that this is a pretty brand new website that was probably launched in I believe it was December, end of December. The goals of the adaptive SEO campaign: increase online and brand awareness in Ottawa, Kingston, and 3 surrounding towns, increase search engine rankings for all geo targets, and obviously, at the end of the day, online lead generation. What was the solution? Total website revamp. Like I mentioned to you, we cleaned up the URL structure, did the proper 301 redirects for any SEO authority that existed. We moved the website from Joomla, an old, I think it was a 1.25 or 1.5 Joomla, to a WordPress. So we migrated that, made the website responsive. We had a content strategy in place for the geolocations, as I've shared with you already, and we created several new Google Places listings for these new markets, for Kingston, Ottawa, and the suburbs, etc. The other thing that we did in working with the IC, which is very clever, was also the IC launched with the client, and they launched a Google AdWords campaign to support the overall strategy and get some results very quickly. Okay, so here I'm going to kind of share with you a little bit about the different components of adaptive SEO. We obviously worked on the keyword competitor research. We looked at service-related keywords and keyword phrases as well to find out what were the best keywords that we should be going after. We looked at local monthly searches. Because they were going after different locations. We looked at Ottawa, we looked at Barrhaven. So we kind of try to be as granular as possible in the local monthly searches. We also looked at the content of the website, right? We wanted to make sure that the content did provide relevant information to these locations. And as a result of this study or of this research, we found that it didn't. So we had to create geo-targeted pages. We also looked at the competitors. Right, we looked at what was their keywords, what were they going after in the locations that we wanted to target, and we also, before we chose the keywords we were going to focus on, we also were very we looked at the keyword competition. We were very aware of how competitive the keywords were, and we did a whole mix of low, medium, and high competitive keywords. Right, it's not just a matter of going after competitive keywords because you're going to get frustrated. It takes much more time. You want to go for some low-hanging fruit. And obviously, we looked at the current rankings on Google, seeing if we could move some keywords higher and others that perhaps that were on page 2 to page 1, and others that were in the top 10 that we can move to top 5 or top 3 positioning. So that was part of that whole keyword competitor research. Technical SEO, like I said, we looked at the technology component, cleaned up the URL structure, added Google Analytics, Google Webmaster Tools was set up, local schema optimization in Open Graph tag creation was added. We updated the XML sitemap creation and robots.txt setup. So we did all this as part of the technical SEO fundamentals and foundation. So the site was ready for desktop, tablet, and mobile, right? So we did that. And we actually then moved into the next phase of the adaptive SEO strategy methodology, which is optimize content as well as amplification, which is publishing and socializing the content. So really, sending those social signals. So we created, number one, at this stage, we created a content marketing calendar, right? Based on that calendar, we started writing on the website pages because some of these pages needed content, right? They were very bare. So we did that as a strategy. We did the geo-targeted pages like I mentioned before. We also started writing monthly blog posts, PR, and articles. And we also optimized the social media properties. And any content that we develop for SEO will also publish on their social media properties, that Facebook, Twitter, etc. So the whole thing about socializing and sharing is to support your adaptive SEO strategy. Okay, very key. This is a little bit different than just doing typical social media. This is actually doing social media that's going to support your SEO efforts. Okay, so here are some of the results that we had pre-campaign. You will see that we kind of took some. These are just some of the keywords. In some cases, for example, we looked at Google Organic. They were in 5th spot for Ottawa plumbers, and we wanted to push that a little bit higher. We wanted to be number 1 or number 3, and after month 4, we were able to. And Ottawa plumber is a very competitive keyword, and you can also see that there was also a keyword called plumbers Ottawa, which was the reverse, which had its own results, and we had to optimize for because it was totally different, right? The keyword phrase was different, so we actually optimized for that. And as you can see, after month 4, we were able to lift them a few spots, but just by lifting them a few spots, actually generated more traffic, as I will show you in the next few slides. In addition, because they were already in Ottawa, they have some Google Place rankings, and we were able to continue to work on that. But for keywords such as plumbing contractors Ottawa, they had no rankings on Google Places, and now that's part of the 7-pack, and we were able to move up to spot number 8. As well. So as you can see below, there were these are some of the other locations they wanted to focus on, and we have been able to move the needle, move them up in 4 months. And as you know, typically traditional SEO takes time, but adaptive SEO is more organic, it's a little bit more of a boost. It's kind of like drinking a booster juice, which is really greens, protein, very healthy SEO, and you can see the results right here. For example, Barhaven Plumbing, they were in the 3rd page, and now they're in the 2nd page, 12th spot, and I would imagine that by month 5 they should be in top 10. You can see some of the progressions that have been very, very, very steady, and this is going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations. And Kingston, which I don't have any results here because we're still working on that strategy, pushing that strategy forward, it will yield some results, I would imagine, by month 6. So I'll keep you posted on the rankings, but this is gives you a bit of an idea of the progress that adaptive SEO can do versus traditional SEO because of all of the efforts that are working together, right? Definitely, in 4 months, this client can be seen in multiple locations, right? Whereas perhaps they weren't seen in any locations before. They're starting to see some traction, some action. Okay, so this is just the keyword research. The keyword rankings after 4 months. Here is where the good things start to show up. Pre-campaign, we weren't able to identify any traffic because the previous site did not have Google Analytics nor Google Master Tools, so we had no pre-campaign traffic results. Right. We also in month 1 we were in the process of launching the site. So in reality, and we did the setup in month 1. In reality, we started kicking results or starting to put some KPIs and some numbers until after month 2. And when you look at this, the key thing here is organic SEO, where we're looking at 298 visits, and by month 4 we moved up to 427 unique sessions. Right, not visits, unique sessions. Right. So you can clearly see here that in this span, you're looking at about 143% increase in traffic organically, right? So from 298 that we were able to track month one after we had launched and we'd done the setup to month four, we're looking at 143% increase. Obviously, Bing and Yahoo are still search engines that require work. They're not our priority right now. However, even when you add up and tally up all of the Google organic, all of the search engines, so the total organic search results, so Google plus Bing plus Yahoo, you're still looking at about 145% increase in overall traffic just from SEO related activities, right? At the same time, there was other things that happened. Visit sessions durations went up. Kind of went down a little bit here, but I would imagine it's also because of the number of visitors that you have. But one of the key things that we did find was obviously the number of new sessions also has increased. The percentage has increased as well, although overall session has not increased, and the reason is because their CPC, their PPC campaign, as you can see here, we were driving about 107 visits per month, or 100 visits per month in the first 2 months. Now in month four, the clients slow down their PPC spend, right? Their Google AdWords. It's not required. Why? Because there's such a boost here that's happening here organically. Right? And in this graph here, what I wanted to share with you is a little bit of the trending that's happening. And you can see the upward movement per week of adaptive SEO really going up. Whereas, let's say, we're probably averaging about 65, let's say if we were to put the medium here, about 65, 70 visits per month, 70 sessions per week. Now they're averaging about 100, they're moving into that 118, 119, 120 sessions per week. Right? So you can see the progression that's happening because of the SEO result, right? So very important. Most importantly, just summarizing the client, the most important thing here is not just rankings, it's not just traffic, it's not trending, but the matter of the fact that in month 3, okay, because we added Google conversion codes and also we created goals in month 4, the last month they were able to generate 36 organic leads, right? That's the key thing. Right, we were able to track that down where they were able to generate 36 organic inquiries for John's business. So obviously the client is happy. We continue to work with them, and again, we'll keep you posted on this client. So to finalize, thank you for staying with us. I know that it was a little bit longer today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. I know there's a couple of questions that came out here from Mark, and I do apologize. I'm going to try my best to send this over to email today, because we ran out of time, but definitely look forward to, if I don't respond, please feel free to give me a shout via email or Skype, and also Amalia, feel free to reach out to her. I would actually say, please don't forget to rate us in K2. I know these webinars are great, and we all learn. If you can just give us a shout, 2 thumbs up, we would appreciate that. So, Amalia?
Yes, just thank you, everybody, for joining us today, and we look forward to next week. And once again, as Armando mentioned, you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email either one of us.
Yep. Okay? Have a great week. We'll keep you posted, and hopefully you have a very productive and successful week with your new prospects. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.